Hello, and today we'll be looking at Zeno Clash, the Ultimate Edition. In a very brief instance, you are awakened from a very unforgiving crime, where a creature named Mother Father dies. Fleeing the scene, you are brought into a larger bizarre realm named Zeno. Your character Got is accompanied by a friend named Dedra that has, well, a fro that shouldn't be sanitary. The story is told through narration of Gat, which of course will be developed further on him, revealing his side of the story. The locations, the weapons, and the people are absolutely odd, but interesting at the same time. It's sort of like that date you first had in high school, but, you know, sometimes dwell back on going, maybe I would have made it with her. But from the swamps, deserts, and outposts, this game gives you an in-depth and bizarre journey. We overall enjoyed it quite a bit due to the fact that it was something that was interesting and it offered a lot of, like, guns themselves, so just really over the top. You had this little crossbow you get the little pistols, and it's just, again, everything in this game was so well crafted. Then they went back and made new weapons, so therefore everything looks all interesting and looks somewhat like that caveman style, but yet it's not. It's just like you think, what would happen if the caveman really did invent guns? Would there even be us today? But either way, let's get into the gameplay. At first glance, you assume you're going after another Call of Duty in the loincloth, but we're sorry to disappoint you in this time around, Jimmy. Well, who camps, of course, with 10 Prestige and 1887 sitting in the corner and Claymores, but not this time. The combat is that of a perfect example of a brawler, like Streets of Rage or Double Dragon. The story gives you a cutscene after cutscene, presenting you, well, a very stylish and, of course, interesting story plot. It's your typical Joe needs to get away from the feds and, you know, clear his identity, blah blah blah. It's one of those type of storylines for this game. However, we felt like the storyline did fit the game quite well. It was exaggerated a little bit, but it kind of wasn't because of the fact that the style of the game is interesting in itself. You, of course, have to do a couple combos and, well, a couple of imperative weapon aspects as well. You get guns, which are newly added to this version of the game, as well as spears and swords that swing around. For most gamers, which of course expect us to shoot things all the time, you probably won't be. You have to get up close and personal in most of these monsters to kill them. And yes, they will run at you dead on, so prepare for a, well, very interesting aspect of this game at least. The Ultimate Edition gets combat mystery redefined with all these aspects. However, these of course get tossed into the new co-op mode online. But however, due to the fact that we could not even find anyone online to play with, we couldn't give you the co-op aspect of the game, up to a sad disappointment. However, the challenge mode and of course the co-op mode that you're supposed to play co-op online, you can still play it single player with yourself, because everyone loves playing these games by themselves. Zeno Rush allows you to, of course, spend your time running through various locations you probably already visited through the game's single player aspect, and then just see how fast you can do it on a timely basis. We overall thought these extra additions to the game were pretty interesting and added a new flavor to the broth. That broth wasn't already good as it was already. Let's face it, everyone loves a little bit of beef stew, except for vegans. But overall, gameplay was pretty solid. Most FPS games to, well, Halo, Call of Duty, and most bright to light third-person shooters, like those are the end-all to be-all to video games. We have to find that it is not true. Zeno Clash makes itself well known as being an interesting and well-developed game. The creators added a aspect of a game that, you know, you've probably seen a comic book, and it was presented quite well, storyline-wise, as well as music. It was very, very nice. The difficulty can be hurtful for those who are casual gamers and should be under consideration before the purchase, but however, for the price tag of only $15, you can't go wrong with such a valuable game. And this, of course, people wished there was a compact disc or some sort of DVD-ROM for this game. Again, you'd be very disappointed for the digital distribution portion of this game. However, it's worth the space, we'd have to say, to definitely try this game out for, well, you know, old time's sake, because this game would give you plenty of hours of enjoyment.